Hey, I'm Peter, and welcome back to Books for Thoughts, where we explore powerful books that sharpen your thinking and deepen your understanding of life one idea at a time. Today's book is small, quiet, and surprisingly profound. It's called How to Think More Effectively by the School of Life, a gentle yet challenging invitation to rethink how we think. Let's take a breath, slow down, and explore what it really means to think well. Most of us assume that thinking is automatic. We do it all the time, while working, walking, worrying. But the school of life suggests that most of what passes for thinking is actually reacting, remembering, or ruminating. Real thinking, deep, constructive, effective thinking, is a skill, one that can be improved, one that requires effort, patience, and space. To think more effectively, we need to step back from noise and learn how to engage our minds with clarity and intention. It's not about solving equations. It's about learning to observe, reflect, and process life more thoughtfully. We love the idea of sudden brilliance, the shower thought, the midnight epiphany, the eureka moment. But most insight, the book reminds us, comes not from lightning strikes, but from slow, deliberate, often quiet reflection. Great ideas aren't born in chaos. They emerge from stillness, from attention, from sitting with a question long enough that your mind begins to uncover new connections. In a world addicted to speed, deep thinking is a quiet rebellion. Thinking effectively isn't just about logic, it's also about emotional honesty. The book explains that many of our thoughts are clouded by unacknowledged feelings, fear, pride, envy, shame. We might say, I don't like this idea, when what we really mean is, I feel threatened by it. Or we might dismiss something as irrational, when really we're scared to change. Effective thinking means asking, what am I feeling right now? What part of this idea is making me uncomfortable? The better we understand our emotional filters, the clearer our thinking becomes. One of the most practical suggestions in the book is that writing is thinking. We often believe we have to figure everything out before we write it down. But the school of life flips this. Writing helps us figure it out. When you write, you slow down. You give vague thoughts shape. You clarify what you actually believe. And what still doesn't make sense, even a private journal, can be a space for more honest, structured thought. And you don't have to be eloquent. You just have to be willing to let your thoughts land on the page. Strangely enough, some of our best thinking doesn't happen when we're furiously focused. It happens when we're walking, showering, resting, letting our minds wander. The book reminds us that the subconscious mind needs space to process ideas in the background. That's why a problem can feel unsolvable at your desk, but suddenly unravel during a walk in the park. If thinking is a conversation between conscious effort and unconscious insight, then rest isn't a distraction, it's essential. Give yourself space, and your mind will often do the work for you. One of the most powerful signs of good thinking is the willingness to doubt. The book emphasizes that thinking effectively is not about having all the answers. It's about asking better questions. People who think well aren't afraid to say, I don't know yet. They're not trying to win arguments. They're trying to explore. Doubt isn't weakness. It's a strength. It shows humility and openness to deeper truth. In a world that rewards confidence, thoughtful doubt is quietly courageous. We often say we don't have time to think, but what we really lack is space. Our days are packed with tasks, noise, screens, and stimulation, and thinking gets pushed to the margins. The book gently encourages us to schedule thinking the way we schedule meetings or workouts. That might mean a quiet walk without headphones, a morning journal, a half hour in a cafe with just a notebook, even simply staring out the window on purpose. Thinking isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. especially if we want to lead intentional lives. So what blocks our ability to think effectively? According to the book, it's often pride. We don't want to admit we were wrong. Speed. We rush to conclusions to feel productive. Distraction. We drown out discomfort with noise. Fear. We're afraid of where our thoughts might take us. To think well, we need the maturity to slow down, the humility to question ourselves, and the discipline to stay with an idea. Even when it's uncomfortable, sometimes good thinking means sitting with a question long before we try to answer it. Effective thinking doesn't just help us solve problems, it makes us better partners, friends, and communicators. Why? Because most conflict isn't about facts. It's about misinterpretations, emotions, and unspoken needs. The book suggests asking, why am I reacting this way? What might they be feeling that they can't say? Is there a misunderstanding beneath the argument? When we think more reflectively, we respond instead of react. We become more generous, more curious, and more compassionate. Thinking clearly is one of the greatest gifts you can bring into any relationship. In the end, this book invites us to change our relationship with thought. It's not about showing off how smart we are or having airtight opinions. It's about using thinking as a tool for growth, to become more honest, more humble, more connected to ourselves and the world around us. Better thinking doesn't make us perfect, but it makes us more present, more curious, and more open to becoming. And that, the book says, is what makes a life truly intelligent. So what does how to think more effectively really teach us? That deep thinking is a skill, not a talent. It requires practice, space, and emotional honesty. It's not fast, it's not loud, but it's deeply powerful. If this resonated with you, consider picking up How to Think More Effectively and supporting the School of Life, because the full book offers quiet wisdom that meets you where you are. And if you enjoyed this reflection, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Books for Thoughts for more calm, clear insights from books that help you grow intentionally. Until next time, slow down, ask better questions, and make time to think.